All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live. If you can see us, if you can hear us, oh, I see some hearts and some likes. Post a hello in the chat where you're joining from. So great to see you. Welcome to this evening. Give us a sound check. How do we sound? Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. We have some updates we're going to share. We're going to talk about the referendum, what's happening here in Virginia. We're going to share some updates on some really positive developments and how awesome this team is all across Virginia. We've had an amazing turnout so far since our launch. We're going to talk a little bit about the launch as well. And we're going to talk about how you all can get engaged. I know we have a lot of you here that have already jumped into the campaign, have been helping, join a committee. So we're going to talk about how you can do that. So welcome. I'm going to also introduce you to Emily Evans, who's joining us. Hey, Emily, how you doing?
Great. It's good to see everyone.
Awesome. All right, we're paused for just a second here. Let's see if we are, I think we're good. So we got some people on, here we go. Oh, on Instagram. Okay, I see where you're at. Here we go. All right, we got all of our Instagram people joining us as well. Instagram and Facebook. Hello. Hey, welcome everyone. Great to see you. Thanks for coming out. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to cover again. Hey, all right, here we go. All the Instagram people are coming into the party. So we are going to be covering updates from the campaign launch. We're going to be talking about the developments with the referendum, what's happening here in Virginia. We're so glad you are here. And we're going to talk about some really cool updates and have a little celebration. There's been a lot of people who've jumped in right out of the gate since the campaign launch. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to celebrate a little bit. And we're going to talk about the referendum. And we're going to talk about some action items that you can take as we got momentum. We got a movement. Woo! It's America made by us. So I'm going to pass it over to Emily, who has, Emily, for those of you who don't know, has come over from Governor Youngkin's office. She was Deputy Director of Outreach for the last 3 years. And I love how she says out of the 8.8 million Virginians, you touched about 8.6 over the last 3 years through all the amazing events and all the work that has been done. So wanted you to say hello, greet everybody. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about the referendum as well.
Yes, great. Thank you, Philip. It's good to see you all. Thanks for joining us this evening. I know it's a little late for our East Coast folks, but we're happy to be spending our evening with you. And yes, we are just still riding the amazing joy wave that we felt after our launch. It was such a great night. Yes, with all of you. It was so fun. We had a packed out room. We had little kids. I think my Easton wasn't quite the youngest. We had some babies in the room, but kids just running around and serving lemonade and coloring cartoons of Philip. It was awesome. And people joining us from all over the state, all over the 7th District and beyond. So it was a great night. We're so thankful. I know it was a big week. We had our launch, and then last week, we, as you all know, as Philip mentioned, we had the referendum vote. So Virginians came out on April 21st and voted. And I know a lot of you have been following it closely. It was about a 51 or so to 48 split there down the line. So the most recent update is that things are being held up in the Supreme Court. So they are looking at things and going to be hopefully making a decision at some point in the upcoming weeks, months. We're not really sure, but it is in there.
Hopefully sooner. Yeah. Absolutely. Back up just a little bit and let's take a moment to celebrate the launch event and talk a little bit about that. I know you covered that. If you were there at the launch event, please post in the chat. We had an amazing turnout. And I think one of the greatest things, because we're running on pro-business and encouraging the builders, the innovators, the doers to create the future, but we're also focusing on family and strengthening the family. If we can strengthen the family, let me see some responses in the chat. If we can strengthen the family, we can address most of the downstream issues in our society. And so at the launch event, we had a bunch of young kids, as Emily was saying, and we're having a lot of fun, a lot of cool crafts, a lot of cool engagement. And one of my favorite moments was when we had one of the young girls came over, and I said, "Are you having a good time?" She said, "I'm having so much fun." And I think that was a huge win for a campaign event for the whole family to be able to have fun. And our youngest, Jackson, and our kids were helping out with all the youth, but our youngest, Jackson, was so excited about his lemonade stand. And he was serving up lemonade and so just loving that entrepreneurial dream. So it was so cool to see. And we also had great coverage. The Washington Examiner came out and gave some great coverage. If you haven't seen the article and the video posts and more that's coming out from that, it was really cool to see that coverage as well, Emily.
Yes, absolutely. That was awesome.
And we had also amazing business owners from across Virginia who were there, who were sharing their stories and were talking about how the impact of the framework and how they've applied it into their business. So it was just a really encouraging kickoff, launch, and a great start to more. So we also had a lot of cool merch, which we're going to talk about tonight as well. And America Made by Us. For those of you who've been following along, you know, tonight we are on a push for fundraising as well. You know, it's funny how this thing works, but it's a beautiful system in the fact that it's very participatory. And there's a limit on how much individuals can give, but those small donations make all the difference. And so you can go on to philiphardingforcongress.com. Tell them about it, Emily. Tell them how it works.
Yeah, so if you visit our website, there will be a donate button in the top right portion of the website. You can click that. You can donate now. It's great. We are really, really excited about the people who have already jumped in and given support. We're so thankful and grateful for that. And we are really doing a big push right now to get us through to the first fundraising report that's going to come out in a couple of weeks. So we want to make sure that we're coming into our first quarter of this really, really strong. So any support you all can give would mean so much to Philip and to our whole team.
And so we have the hats here. Let's talk about these. We'll talk about them a little bit more, but we got the black America Made by Us. Yes, and we got the white. Thank you. Annalise right here. We got some white ones as well. And so we're doing something special, Emily, we talked about tonight. If you can go to the website, put in $75 or more to start, we will send you one of these hats and sign it with a special note to you as well. So where do they go again to do that, Emily?
philiphardingforcongress.com.
All right, there you go. So check it out, philiphardingforcongress.com. Go there. And you can get yourself one of these signed hats as well, which is super cool. So awesome. So let's talk about really quick. We want to celebrate because one of the big things as soon as you announce is you have to get over 1,000 signatures to get on the ballot. And with this, all the referendum, we had volunteers and team members working the polls like 12 hours a day. Annalise, you want to come over and talk a little bit about what that was like and the awesome update on in progress with the signatures?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Annalise, as he just said. But we've had an amazing team, an amazing group of volunteers who have been out there in the rain, in the cold, in the sun, collecting signatures, talking to people. We worked a lot with the Vote No people who were trying to, encourage people to stop the referendum. So the past 2 weeks has been...
Emily also went viral. If you haven't noticed, there's an amazing video. Tell that story about the one woman who came up to the polls.
Well, we had a lady come up to us and ask, she was from Nigeria, and asked if she could take a video of us explaining why they needed to vote no because of how confusing the ballot and everything was. And so we've had some amazing people out there helping us get signatures.
Yeah, the way the ballot was written, it was so confusing. It says, if you're for fair maps, right? And so She said, she's a first generation American. She said, it's so confusing. And we've been talking to people. Can you help us understand? So just off the top, Annalise just started breaking it down and explaining it. And it's just really taken off. And been great. So
It was
all that to
really
say, it's
fun.
one of those
Really
amazing
fun.
stories. We had a lot of amazing prayer moments too, with people just coming up and saying, man, we feel something special. Having great conversations with voters and citizens all across the district was just super cool to hear, super cool to see.
Yeah, great people. Those are great.
So talk
great team.
about the amazing Herculean effort to get the signatures.
We have had people all across the district, all across the state who have, yes, thank you to everybody, who have taken sheets to their churches, to their place of work, who have hit different polling places to help us get more coverage. And genuinely, without the help of everybody, we would not have possibly made our way to working towards this goal at all, had even a hope of reaching it. So thank you all for helping us along this journey. And we look forward to all of you being involved with the future things that are going to be coming up with events and sign-ups. So we love y'all. We're so appreciative of y'all. Keep it up. Thank y'all.
Okay, awesome. And those of you, I know we have some here that are listening that were part of gathering those signatures, over 1,000 and beyond. Thank you so much. It's amazing. We'll have an update for you on where we stand next week. But thank you, thank you, thank you. What an amazing effort. And we're going to take more time to celebrate. We have to celebrate along the way all the progress and the success. So thank you for that. And to Annalise's point, but before I say join the movement, if you're watching this live, please share, post, comment, get this out there. It's truly a movement. And if you send this out to 10 people, we have 100 people, send it to 10 people, it's 1,000 people, send it to 10 people, on and on it goes. So please repost, share, comment, get a lot of energy out there right now as we're live, and share this. It's truly a movement. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the policy areas that we're focusing on and some of just the response we're seeing. In this short live session tonight, we won't have time to go super deep, but we just want to share some of the feedback we've been getting in some of the events that we've been hosting with business roundtables, with family events, faith events, and seeing the response and the energy all across the district. So Emily, we'll talk about that in just a second. But just to add on to what Annalise was saying, if you go to the website as well, PhilipHardingForCongress.com, and you click on Join the Movement, there's a form there. And on that form, you'll see a list of committees and opportunities for you to get more engaged and involved. Thank you to all of those of you who stepped up and said, hey, we want to be a part of this. All across the country have also stepped in as well. And there's a lot of opportunities for you to be engaged, even if you're not living right here. But we're so thankful for those of you who are here physically, but there's opportunities for you to be involved in this movement as well. So go to PhilipHardingForCongress.com and click on Join the Movement, and there's a form. I'll say the very first committee for you to join is the prayer committee. And please, every one of you, even if you can't go donate, surely everyone can donate at least something and be part of this movement. Really go for it. But even if you're not able to, prayer, you can start there. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been feeling the prayer. There's a lot of heat. There's a lot of things that we are facing, and your prayer means a lot. Pray for us all individually. Pray for our family. Pray for the work that's happening, and for all the team and everyone that's a part of this. We're just so grateful, so grateful. There's something bigger happening here in our country, and it's a very special time. So please post, reshare, comment. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so I'm going to pass over to Emily. Tell us a little bit about some of the events and things that we've been a part of over the last couple weeks.
Yes, it has been a busy few weeks in the best way. You know, we have been all over the district and even had some events and things that we've been able to be a part of outside of the district. But that's everything from our local county meetings with our GOP friends to Vote No rallies all across the district and beyond. That's business roundtables and coffee groups, and we've even been at some awesome ministry and church events. And so we have been with so many different people across so many different industries and areas, and it has been a very scenic. Virginia 7 is scenic and beautiful, and we have enjoyed our drives and spending time with all of our friends across the district. It's been wonderful.
And one thing that Emily's being a little humble about is she was also a lead organizer with the Family Foundation on the March for Life, which was a huge event. You want to talk a little bit about that, Emily?
Yes, I would love to. So, yes, March for Life. It is one of our favorite times of year in the pregnancy help and the pro-life movement. We look forward to it every year. The Family Foundation does a phenomenal job partnering up with the National March for Life to be the hosting organization for Virginia. And I was honored to be included and a part of that planning process this year. And we had over 5,000 people on the lawn of Capitol Square in Virginia. And then we did our huge march around the Capitol Square. We had students, we had strollers, we had our senior citizens coming out in droves with their signs that were from organizations that were homemade with their amazing shirts, just singing and chanting and praying. And it was a beautiful day. We had an incredible lineup of speakers. We had our A-Plug doctors out there. We had Myra Rodriguez as our keynote. We had Victoria Cobb from Family Foundation and several other really key, very special, important leaders in this movement in our speaker lineup. And then for the first time ever, we had a training session after the march. We had around 800 people come out to our training, which was so exciting. And we had 4 different groups. We had a pastors and ministry leaders and faith group. We had a student group. We had our citizen and community engagement group. And we had our medical professionals and our pregnancy help groups. And each of those trainings was led in partnership with the Family Foundation by a different organization. We had lunch. Everybody came. They learned how to talk about the abortion amendment that is going to be on the ballot this November, alongside all of our congressional and Senate candidates and delegates and everybody. And so it was a great day equipping people with the knowledge and the facts and information that they need to be able to have good conversations and help people understand what it really means, what it says, how it's broken down. And it was awesome. It was a great day.
Very good. So, excellent. We're back. Hey, this is great. It's live. We're live. So, thank you for that update. It was amazing to see all the families and just all the energy out there. And what a great thing to be a culture of life and celebrating babies and very positive time there. And also those 2 amendments, we'll be talking more about that over the next few months. Those top priorities for the new administration that's come in. One is raise taxes across the board when affordability is the main concern. And then second, let's do this referendum. And then next, let's introduce these new amendments to the Constitution, one that is focused on extending abortion even farther. That we'll be talking and digging more deeply into that, but it's something every Virginian needs to be aware of. What is happening, these next 2 amendments. As soon as we get through this referendum, the next thing is going to be that. So thank you for that update. And yes, as she mentioned, business roundtables we've been a part of, a lot of meetups and rallies, and it's just so encouraging to see the energy that is coming out of this referendum. And I've been saying this over and over, one thing after another seems to keep happening on this campaign, and it's just, you know what? It's working together for our good. It's working together for our good. And so you can only pull that rubber band back so far until it snaps. And so you're seeing the energy rise up, and we're grateful for that and grateful for what is to come. With the new redistricting, either way, we have a good plan. And again, it's working together for our good. The new version of the 7th, if you look at it, it's that funny looking lobster district. They're calling it the lobster. The lobster, because it's bright red all the way up and has a little blue tail, but it's the funniest looking shape. Definitely a gerrymander. But the good news, there's some very positive things that we'll be digging into. Next week, we'll talk more about it. But either way, however things shape out, it's looking good, and we're grateful. We're grateful. God keeps guiding every step. Again, thank you for your prayers, your support, your encouragement. I see we've just got a lot of new people joining us. You're coming in right now. So if you're just joining us, please share repost, comment, join in. I know we've had a lot of people who've been in person with us. We're at the launch event or have been helping us volunteer all across the Commonwealth. Thank you for being here tonight. And I know we've got amazing people all across the country who've been a part of this movement. I know we got some Impact Junkie family here as well who've been helping start businesses all around the world and all across the US. Woo! X's and snaps to you all. And just before we go further, we got hats tonight. So if you go to Philip, what's the website again, Emily? I'm just trying to remember. What is it?
PhilipHardingForCongress.com.
Philip Harding for Congress. Hey, I like that. PhilipHardingForCongress.com. And tonight we are, if you do a 75 or more donation on the website, $75, which the maximum per individual for the primary, what is it at, Emily?
$3,500.
So $3,500 will definitely send you more than one hat. But $3,500 is the max out per individual. So it's capped. So these smaller donations, that's how it works. So the more people we can get involved, you can do the math. You get 1,000 people to do $50. You get 1,000 people to do $100. We've got some great momentum. So please give as much as you can, as often as you can. You can also click the reoccurring. So if you're like, you know what, I could do more, I could do some more next month. There's also, I think, a reoccurring option. So you can click that as well. But we have hats special tonight that we will be signing. This is the America Made by Us. America Made by Us. The more you travel around the world and the more you see these other countries and you see the needs and the desire for people to come be a part of this great country, you realize how blessed we really are and how special this country is, and that our rights come from God, not from a government. The government is just there to secure those rights. And so that's what this hat represents, America Made by Us, and it's got the cool little Harding for Congress. And if you do tonight, the 75 or more will also sign it. So we're on this big push. Please spread the word, text 5 friends, and if you've got groups that you're a part of, get involved. Awesome. So let me just share a couple quick things, and then we're going to wrap up tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to this live session. So great to see you all. And we're going to be having many more live sessions. We're going to be having Whiteboard Wednesdays and all kinds of fun things that are happening. But we just wanted to share with you some quick updates. There's been so much happening that we just want to make sure you're at least aware, and to say thank you and celebrate all the progress that has been happening. Because we're running so fast, we can easily miss all the energy and miss all the wins that are happening along the way. But I just want to recap a couple of things for those of you who are saying, who is this Philip Harding guy? Maybe this is your first time ever hearing, and I know you're bringing new friends in. We've been talking to people across Virginia. We're like, where did this guy come from? This Philip Harding guy. So let me just share briefly. We had a request for this. So I grew up in California. My dad was a pastor. I was associate pastor. Family and faith were the most important things in serving our community. And that's been ingrained in me from the very beginning. I felt a call to business and public service at a young age. And I'm a first generation college grad. Went to a community college right out of did homeschool for high school, went straight to a community college, got 3 degrees, and then got married to my beautiful wife, Rochelle, who we just celebrated 21 years of marriage, and in our 22nd year, and 3 beautiful children, amazing children. We're so blessed. And but we got married, started a few businesses, and then started feeling the scariest word in the world. You know what that word is? Comfortable. The C word. So we started feeling that comfortable, but felt that calling to business, to public service, and ended up as a distance student starting at Harvard. Found out Harvard had an extension program and started from California, and ended up being encouraged to run for student president. And the first time this had ever happened, this was before Zoom, we ran for student president from California, over 3,000 miles away, and got elected. It was a huge fork in the road. I remember sitting with my dad in the booth and saying, Dad, I feel this calling to public service. I feel this calling to business. I feel like this is a pathway to get there. And he said, I don't understand it all either, son, but maybe God's going to use you in greater ways for the kingdom and in our country and in our world than we can see now. And we cried. It was a special moment. And we headed off, Rochelle and I, over 3,000 miles away to Cambridge, and ended up running in 8 elections over the next 4 years. Later being elected Harvard-wide student president, and was worked in Congress between my first and second year at the graduate school, the Kennedy School of Business and Government, and then was selected to give the commencement address. And that was a special moment. If you had showed me that picture 5 years earlier, I wouldn't have believed it. I would have had no clue how to get there. But God continued to guide every step, and it was a lot of hard work along with it. And I'm just looking at that photo in front of 30,000 people in Harvard Yard. It was a really special moment, an American dream kind of moment. This is still the country of dreams. And in that moment, I talked about George Washington, who came to Harvard in 1775, which we just celebrated the 250th anniversary of. He came and took command of the troops and launched this startup there. And he wrote back to Martha here in Virginia, and he said, I feel a kind of destiny, and a divine hand is guiding me to this service. And that was the name of the speech, A Kind of Destiny. And I ended that speech saying, let's go serve the world with passion. And 3 years later, I was standing in mud, helping launch a clean water venture with Impact Junkie, one of our first ventures. And some of you probably on this call were there for it, were a part of it. And in between there, I was selected as a presidential fellow and worked from the White House to the Pentagon and on bringing the best and the brightest from the private sector to come work alongside executives in government. And a lot of fun, a lot of innovative work, but feeling that calling again to seeing more needs around the world and seeing more needs across our country, and launched this thing called Impact Junkie with the gold standard, Steve Jury, and that took us on a wild ride. Last year, we passed over 2 million participants helping start businesses to live out their purpose in over 30 countries in 6 languages. And that took us to jungles with machetes. Some of you were there, to palaces in the Middle East and in Central Asia and Southeast Asia, and being in countries, communist countries, former Soviet countries, and socialist countries, and seeing the power of free markets and free people to transform lives and to solve the biggest problems in our world. These are the very things that we are blessed with here in America that we can often take for granted and not realize how blessed we are. I remember I was introduced in Uzbekistan. The new president had just been elected, and they're trying to focus more on innovation and entrepreneurship. And they introduced me as, this is Philip Harding from the country of dreams. Philip Harding from the country of dreams. And I was trying to get my thoughts together, and it just hits you right in the chest how blessed we are and how grateful we should be, and how profound this idea is that our rights come from God, not from a government. And especially over the last 60 years, we as a country have abdicated so much of our responsibility to say, well, there must be a government program for that. There must be some government solution, when realizing we are the solution. And you are what America needs. You are what your community needs. You are what your family needs. And that America is made by us. It's America made by us. And the question is, what are you going to do with what you've been given? And we celebrate the innovators, the problem solvers, the creatives, the doers who step up and say, you know what, we can be the solution. We can help each other. So at our launch event, when everybody came in, they got a Sharpie. So talking about the launch event, and everybody had a Sharpie. And we had a healthcare group and a business group and an education group and a faith leaders group. And everybody started working together. What can we do together to help our communities, to help our state, to help the Commonwealth, and to help our country, and to help one another and the world? That's what it's all about. So this movement is really about an awakening, getting back to remembering who we are, how blessed we are. There are millions of people just dying, literally dying to get here. You already have a golden ticket. If you were living here and were born here in the United States, you are so blessed. And it's time to remember who we are and how blessed we are. All that to say, there's more to share in another session. It's a longer version, but God has opened some amazing doors and brought together amazing people like Emily here, who you met on the call as well, who's come over from Governor Youngkin's team, and has just been amazing helping out, and how God has ordained her steps and has brought us together. And others that have run presidential campaigns, congressional campaigns, and state races to come and say, we think you're the guy to flip this district. We think with your international background, your business background, the way your faith and your family, we think this is what this district is ready for, this area is ready for. So it'd be a lot easier for us to just keep doing our business and to keep doing what we've been doing. But hey, when you feel a calling, you step out into the deep, step out into the unknown. That's what we've been helping millions of people do around the world and all across the US. We've worked in inner cities and former gang members and through addiction and felons, and seen the power of these same principles that has helped America solve the biggest problems, create the greatest inventions, taken us to other planets. And so I'm excited to keep it going. So what's the website again, Emily? I just forgot.
PhilipHardingForCongress.com.
There you go. I like it. I like how you say it. It's gonna be a ringtone. PhilipHardingForCongress.com. Go click on the donate button and share it with as many friends as you can. Thank you so much. And then what's the other place, Annalise? Where do they go?
The website to volunteer.
To sign up to volunteer, join the team, join the movement. We've got people using their tech skills. We got people who, you got more money than time. You can give that's great too. But some people have more time than money. You can engage in that way as well. Be part of this movement. There's a place for everyone. It's an exciting thing that's happening. And again, it's America made by us. So anything else you want to add, Emily?
I think you covered it. Thank you all again so much for being with us on this journey and for supporting Philip and our team. We're so grateful.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you for joining this movement. Thank you for sharing. We'll have more updates soon. We'll keep you updated on the referendum and what things are happening here with the campaign. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless Virginia. Have a great night. Thank you.